Good afternoon, Big Blue Nation. This is Lee with That Kentucky Basketball Chick. It is a beautiful Monday afternoon, and we are getting ready to talk about the football game that happened over the weekend. I'd rather not talk about it, but you know what? This is a Kentucky sports podcast, so I don't have a choice. So before that, even though we had a terrible weekend, at least there is ice cold Dr. Pepper. So let's crack one open and get into it. So refreshing, so cold, so crisp. Dr. Pepper. It's my drink of choice. Absolutely love it. So let's talk about Saturday. So we had a game. It was at South Carolina. I felt okay about the game before it started. But then it started, and I actually didn't get to see much of like the first quarter. We were at my husband's family's uh, house, his grandmother's house for his September, all the September birthdays, which is my husband's born in September, so it was his birthday party as well. But at the time of the game starting, my husband decided, hey, me and my brothers, let's run a 40-yard dash as fast as we can to win. So they tried to race, and my husband pulled or tore his hamstring. He's 34, y'all. Lesson learned. Not as young as you used to be. He was an athlete, so I mean, but when you're 34 and you you pull your hamstring, so that's what what we were dealing with at the time of the start of the game, trying to get him comfortable and then home. But oh y'all, I don't know what to say, honestly. It was an awful performance all the way around. Um, I I don't know what happened except that the momentum switched off of those two quick touchdowns by South Carolina with with the fumble and then also with the interception. I hate it. I absolutely hated it. It was just like a gut punch. Yeah, I hated it for Cutter Bowley. I hated it for all the whole team. I hated it for Mark Stoops. I hated it for the whole thing. However, I think it's time to start talking about things that need to change within the football program. And as everybody was saying, with KSR and through other forms of media, even though, Bush Hamden has not been our offensive coordinator, he has not been what we thought he was going to be. All these decisions come down to Mark Stoops. That's the common denominator. Every year we think it's going to get better. And y'all, I think this is the bottom of the barrel. But let's be clear. They are not going to fire him. I'm sorry. They're just not. I actually can predict. I would put $100 down on a bet that he would be the coach next year. Mitch Barnhart made a crazy, crazy contract with him with a $38 million buyout. But not only is it that much of a buyout, it has to be paid within like 60 or 90 days. And the football program and the university cannot do that. Cannot. So we are in a crazy, crazy, crazy position. I also believe we are where we were in 2024 at the end of basketball season, but yet this is football. And we haven't even made it halfway through the season yet. And what do? Seriously, what do you do? Do you hope that some other school tries to poach Mark Stoops like they did Calipari? I, to this day, think Calipari would still be the coach in 2025 if it weren't for Arkansas coming in saying, "Hey, we'll pay you and come to our program. Let's do it." But the results have just not been there. Yes, we've made many bowl games with Stoops. And I'm going to say I have not been a real big Kentucky football fan. As I've said before, I am more of a basketball fan. But the last few years, I have been starting to watch football because I enjoy Kentucky sports, and I actually enjoy it. I don't like this part of it. I like winning. So I have not seen the glory days of Kentucky football. Glory days. What are even glory days for Kentucky football? Let's be real. But I'm saying the excitement of Kentucky football. I was not watching Kentucky football when we had the 10 win season, which, by the way, got taken away from us. So I don't know. The culture has changed totally. I don't understand why on a bye week we cannot win. I mean, I could rant about this forever. I can. And it's not going to do any good because this is what it is. And it's only going to get tougher. Next week, we go to Georgia. You think Georgia's going to be wanting to give us a win on the road at their house? No. They just lost to Alabama. And Alabama's good this year, but they're nothing like Saban's years. And that's a big rivalry. So they're not going to win there. We play Texas. We have another bye week. Then we play Texas at home. Then we play, I think, Tennessee. We might beat Florida. We should beat Tennessee Tech, but what I heard on the pre-show or KSR first hour this morning is that Tennessee Tech is a high-scoring team. So I just don't know where. I think we could definitely be a 3-win season this year. But like I said, this year was going to be either an utter failure or a miracle. And I think we're now leaning more towards the failure part of this season. Hey, you never know. There are teams that have done this and then all of a sudden start winning, but I just don't know if the talent's there. I don't. And they spent a lot of money on this talent too. I'm just disappointed. And the other thing that football has coming against them is the fact that basketball season is right around the corner. It is right there. Big Blue Madness is October 11th. And then we play our first exhibition game on the 24th. And I think after that, if we're not winning some games, basketball is going to be the forefront. It just is. And it's just sad. It's just sad. It's always real tough to be a Kentucky football fan. Real tough. But in other news, let's end on a positive note since it's been kind of gloom and doom this Monday afternoon. Did anybody watch the Ryder Cup? I wish we had the Ryder Cup every year or something like the Ryder Cup every year. We got the last day, which the U.S. just, I don't know, they just dug a hole, but it was exciting yesterday. And DeChambeau's comeback from being down 5, man, y'all, he worked great under that pressure. You could just see he was just locked in and ready to go. It was awesome. Unfortunately, the U.S. did not come home with the Ryder Cup last night. Europe took it home for the second year in a row. But I think what now is going to be discussed is that rule if somebody's injured, because it's like they gave it a tie, which means each team got to have a point. Well, I don't think it's fair because that half point actually is, if it wasn't there, we would have kept going. Now, We probably still wouldn't have won, but it still could have made it, even more interesting. So it'll be interesting to see if they do anything with that rule. I thought the U.S. looked great. I thought their uniforms looked great. I wonder, I don't know. And, it's interesting who they picked, like who Keegan Bradley, the team captain, who they picked, how he came to that conclusion. Because, I don't know, some of them I didn't even know. I didn't even know who Henley was, and he's the third golfer in the world. He's number 3 in the world. So, don't know. I do think it's awful that Rory McIlroy's wife got a drink thrown at her. Or I don't know if it was at her, but it landed on her. I think our fans could have been a little more gracious. But besides that, it was awesome. Yesterday was awesome. We watched it for 3 or 4 hours straight. It was great. Absolutely wonderful. So I guess we will talk about on Thursday. We'll get ready for the Georgia game, which is Saturday. And we'll talk about more football stuff coming up. But until then, let's go Cats.